Next, we'll discuss the regulatory outcomes of the HCA healthcare breach. The first major point is that this incident automatically triggered federal reporting requirements. Because millions of individuals were affected, HCA was obligated under HIPAA and HITECH to notify the Office of Civil Rights, the State Attorney's General Office, and all impacted patients. They also had to issue a public announcement due to the size of the breach. These steps are mandatory and designed to ensure transparency and accountability. With breaches of this scale, organizations also face the possibility of audits or corrective action plans. So, from a regulatory standpoint, the consequences were extensive and unavoidable. From an organizational perspective, the breach forced ACA to conduct a comprehensive internal investigation. Even though the company did not release all findings publicly, it is very clear that they had to review their data storage process, their vendors' relationships, and their overall security aspect. Events like this create organizational ripple effects. Policies and procedures often require revisions, vendor management become a priority, and additional resources are usually dedicated to cybersecurity improvements. Breaches of this magnitude also have financial impacts and an impact on public trust. So, organizationally, this event requires significant internal response and major reconstruction. Technically, the breach revealed gaps in the HCA's security environment. The fact that the compromised data was stored externally highlights weaknesses in the segmentation, their monitoring system, and the vendor access control. In the aftermath of an incident like this, organizations typically strengthen network segmentation, improve their real time monitoring, their alert systems, and reevaluate identity and access control. They also enhance oversight of third party platforms. These actions are essential to closing the vulnerabilities that allowed the breach to occur. Overall, the technical outcomes require ACA to reinforce multiple layers of its security layout. When we examine the effectiveness of HCA response, it is important to separate regulatory compliance from comprehensive risk management. HCA did fulfill the legal requirements by notifying regulatories, the affected individuals, and by clarifying that Social Security numbers and clinical data information was not involved. However, beyond meeting those requirements, their response offered limited transparency. The organization did not provide identity monitoring services, nor did they share details of the corrective actions, and they also gave limited follow up updates. So while the response met federal standards, it fell short of demonstrating a strong commitment to patient reassurance and a long term trust building. The lessons learned from this breach extends beyond HCA. First, compliance is not enough to keep patients safe. Organization must go beyond the minimum requirements and adopt a truly proactive security approach. Second, the vendor access remains one of the highest risk areas in healthcare IT. Any systems connected to external platforms must be monitored and controlled with great precision. Third, effective monitoring and rapid response to security alerts are very essential. Information may be available, but if no one responds to it, the organization remains vulnerable. Finally, transparent communication plays a major role in rebuilding trust, especially after a big breach like this one. Patients want clarity, reassurance, and evidence that their information will be better protected moving forward. Healthcare organizations must prioritize both technical safeguards and the patient trust in their response strategies.